Clemenceau is a super rare rarity battleship from the Vichy Dominion and is part of the Richelieu class of fast battleships. Clemenceau is only available from the Full Scales banner during the Full Scales event, which is currently running from the 17th of August to the 30th of August. Though Clemenceau is a part of the Richelieu class of fast battleships, she, much like the PR ship Gascogne, were never completed. In 1937, the main power of the French naval forces were the Dunkirk class, Dunkirk and Strasbourg, and the Richelieu class, Richelieu and Jean Bart, with the Dunkirk class built to counter the German Deutschland class and the Richelieu class being built to counter the Italian Littorio class. However, the German Navy built the KMS Scharnhorst and Gneisenau to counter the Dunkirk class, and the KMS Bismarck and Tirpitz to counter the Richelieu class. French Naval Command determined that producing another pair of Richelieu-class battleships would bring some semblance of balance against the expanding Italian and German fleets. The French Naval Command decided on the 2nd of May 1939 to authorize two new battleships, Clemenceau and Gascogne. Delays due to shortage of dockyards able to handle such large hulls allowed the French Naval Command to conduct additional design studies. These studies compared their new ships to foreign ships, noting that the foreign battleships carried the main guns to the front and back, with several using dedicated high and low angle guns for their secondaries. Vice Admiral François Dalland issued further studies with the requirements that the proposals be based on the Richelieu class design. 3 series were submitted, Project A through C. The Project A series had effective repeats of the Richelieu design with minor improvements. Project B series shifted the main battery turret behind the superstructure, and Project C series had 2 triple-barrel turrets at the front and a 3rd triple-barrel turret at the back, replacing the quad-barrel turrets that were standard on Richelieu-class battleships. All 3 series also made changes to the composition and arrangement of the secondary and AA batteries. The Project C variants all displaced close to 41,000 tons, 6,000 tons over the limit of the Second London Naval Treaty, and wasn't seriously considered. Dalland took the A and B variants on the 19th of March 1938, with Dalland choosing one variant for the Clemenceau and Gascogne, one retaining the basic Richelieu-class layout, while the other would have a turret battery shifted to the back, with Clemenceau having the Project A series and Gascogne having the Project B series. The most significant changes for Clemenceau's design was to the arrangement of her secondary and AA batteries. The 152mm turrets were reduced to 4, with 2 midship wing turrets and 2 at the center back of the superstructure. This allowed the ship to have the same broadside while not increasing the tonnage by much. Armor was reduced to 13 inches, the hangar was shortened to accommodate the new 152mm gun armament, while also widening it to store the planes side by side instead of one in front of the other. This reduced tonnage allowed for the adoption of the dual-purpose 100mm MLE 1937 autocannon, having 12 total. 6 37mm ACAD guns were also added to supplement the 100mm. Overall, Clemenceau was quite similar to her sisters, Richelieu and Jean Bart. Clemenceau was laid down on the 17th of January 1939. Due to rising tensions with Germany, she was slated to be launched in 1941, with completion being estimated for late 1943. Work was temporarily halted on the 28th of September 1939 due to the mass mobilization for war with Germany, with what men were available being sent to finish work on Richelieu. Work was resumed on the 6th of December, with only 10% of the hull being fully assembled by the 10th of June. When German forces approached where Clemenceau was being constructed, the Salut No. 4 dock in Brest, the dockyard workers flooded the dry dock. Clemenceau was seized by the Germans and renamed Battleship R, and was briefly considered being completed before being written off as an unrealistic project. The 10% of the hull was floated out of the dry dock in 1941, and Allied bombers sank the hull on the 27th of August 1944. After the war, on the 23rd of February 1948, the French government put the wreck up for sale. No buyers were interested, so the French Navy refloated the vessel before it sank and broke in half. Salveurs eventually bought the wreck on the 1st of August 1951. In her character art drawn by Ask, Clemenceau wears a very tight-fitting black dress with under-boob window at the top, large holes on the sides showing off her thighs, with gold accents on top, a partial leotard covering the bottom half of her body, a long gold chain with a cross at the bottom going between her cleavage, black arm gloves with gold bracelets, a flowing black cape with black fur trim, red interior lining, and gold cross accents, a black crown with gold interior on her head, and black and gold high heel shoes. She holds a massive staff in her right hand, which has a yellow gemstone in the middle and a cross at the top. Her rigging consists solely of a large scale behind her. The scale is primarily black and gold, having 2 quad-barrel naval guns mounted on the plates of the scale, with some smaller guns beside them, 2 triple-barrel naval cannons near the fulcrum of the beam, and the top of her superstructure at the very top of the beam. Her live 2D outfit for this event, Splendid Breeze, is available from the outfit store for 1,180 gems and is drawn by Ask. The outfit has the commander and Clemenceau out at the golf course for a round of golf. Clemenceau herself wears a tight-fitting black miniskirt with pockets and zipper at the front, both outlined in white and along the bottom, a belt around her abdomen, an open-chested sleeveless shirt with black collar and 2 breast pockets, white golf gloves, white hoop earrings, white and black golf shoes, and a black and white sun visor. She stands in front of a red golf cart which appears to be gas-powered and has a Manju hood ornament, a golf bag with 5 different irons in it and Versailles on the side, and a pair of sunglasses and a butterfly. In her voice lines, voiced by Yurina Amami, who also voices Haruka in Sorayo Utility, Is in Milligram, and Chris Westland in Vermeil and Gold, Clemenceau enjoys handling things behind the scenes for the commander.
なるほど。あの良き指揮官は作られた顔に過ぎないと。逆にちょっとつまらないわね。差し入れは委託組の子たちに持って行って。いつ準備したかって？そんなの別に気にするようなほどのことかしら。お帰りなさい。多忙なる我らが指揮官様。クレマンソーに何か手伝えることは？新しい手紙があるわ。緊急なものじゃないから手元の仕事を終えてから確認してもいいわよ。まだ終わっていない任務があるわ。私が思うにそれらはすでに指揮官の予定に載っている。そうでしょ？任務が完了したわ。テキパキと予定をこなしていく。まさにお仕事モードの指揮官ね。これは指揮官。ヴィシア所属戦艦クレマンソー。共に戦えて強越至極よ。偉業を知らぬ者がいないあなたと比べて私など無名に等しいわ。さて、本筋の話に入る前に私に何か聞きたいことはありますか？さっきの作戦の振り返りでもどう？時間さえ良ければ別の可能性とかを検証してみない？指揮官は舞台上の指導者であり舞台裏の参謀役でもあるわね。どっちを演じるのが好きかしら？それとも実は我らが指揮官はただの一観客になりたかったり悩みのない者には悩まないことの身軽さがあるし、計りごとを巡らす者には計りごとで得られる瞬間が訪れるわ。他人を見極めた気でいるのは無粋よ。どんなものにもそれぞれへの付き合い方がある。そうじゃなくて。
At level 125 with max affinity and enhancements, Clemenceau has 8,344 HP, 455 firepower, 310 AA, 171 reload, 44 evasion, heavy armor, 32 speed, 71 accuracy, 10 luck, and consumes 15 oil. Clemenceau has 3 skills, with the skills focusing on having a Vicia Dominion fleet to support Clemenceau, and using her main guns. Clemenceau's first skill, Will of the Tribunal, at level 10, increases Clemenceau's accuracy by 12%. When the battle starts for each Vicia Dominion ship in the same fleet as Clemenceau, her firepower and AA are buffed by 5%, up to a max of 6 or plus 30%. If there is a Vicia Dominion ship in the Vanguard fleet when the battle starts, Clemenceau's reload is buffed by plus 10%. Her second skill, Guiding Flames of Intrigue, at level 10, when Clemenceau fires her main guns, there is a 75% chance to fire a special barrage. Enemies hit by this special barrage have their firepower, torpedo, and aviation stats reduced by 5% for 5 seconds. When the battle starts, and if there are 5 Iris Libre or Vicia Dominion ships in the same fleet as Clemenceau, or if she has an Iris Orthodoxy gear equipped, the special barrage gets a plus 25% proc chance for a total of 100%. Her third skill, Holy Sea's Judgment, at level 10, increases Clemenceau's main gun crit rate by plus 12% and main gun crit damage by plus 15%. Clemenceau's first salvo always deals critical damage if it's aimed manually. The recommended equipment for Clemenceau is the triple 406mm Mark 7 for the best HE gun for shelling, the triple 152mm MLE 1930 for a good Aux CL gun and a way to get that plus 25% to her proc rate for her second skill, the twin 40mm Bofors for the best AA gun for all main fleet ships, the Type 1 AP and super heavy shells for the best battlefield auxiliary equips and buffs to crit rate / damage, and the Officer's Sword for a buff to evasion, accuracy, and plus 20 firepower for 10 seconds when she fires her first volley. Much like her sisters, Richelieu, Jean Bart, and Gascogne, Clemenceau makes for a great main fleet ship who, again like her sisters, excels at laying down a ton of damage with her main guns, though this does come with a caveat that will be discussed in a second. Her S1 and S3 give multiple stat bonuses to Clemenceau, specifically buffing her accuracy, firepower, AA, reload, crit rate, and crit damage. 6 things total. Her S2 is guaranteed to proc if you meet the requirements, and has Clemenceau fire a special barrage which debuffs enemies hit by it, further cementing her position as a great flagship, or even off-flagship in the main fleet. Since her buffs are greater depending on how many Vicia Dominion, or in the case of her S2, Vicia or Iris Libre ships are in her fleet, having her be the flagship or off-flagship, with the other main fleet ships like Gascogne, Flandre, Joffre, and a vanguard fleet of Algérie, Marseilles, Le Dompte, La Maline Muse would fit her great. But such a good battleship does have its drawbacks, with the first one being the limited availability of Clemenceau. Since the event is currently ongoing, you do have the opportunity to get her from the limited construction, but when that event is over, she's gone until either a rerun happens or she's put in the general build pool, which will probably take a while. Another detriment is Clemenceau's reliance on having Vicia Dominion, or Iris Libre for second skill, to get the maximum potential from her skills. If you want that nice plus 30 to her firepower and AA, you're going to need a full fleet of Vicia Shipgirls. If you want that plus 25% proc chance for S2, though 75% is a reasonably high proc rate in my opinion, you either have to have 5 of either French faction ships in the same fleet, so another full fleet, or thankfully, you can equip Clemenceau with Iris Orthodoxy gear to get the same effect. Conveniently, the triple 152mm MLE 1930 is available from the event shop for 2,000 Fool's Majesties, or the event currency. Overall, I'd give Clemenceau a medium-high, maybe high-low recommendation to build and raise. She's a great main fleet ship who does a lot of damage and can buff herself a ton and debuff enemies, but you'll need to be mindful with what fleet she's in and what she has equipped if you want to get that full use out of her. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates, and please check out my other Azur lanes covering the Fool's Scales event ships and story. Coming soon.